Coach and Players, Dwight Vick, Victory Life Legacy Podcast. Coach, how cool it is for a player to give you props. I mean, that has to be a really good feeling. Herndon High School, the last 2 seasons, has won 16-plus games. And you guys have been very good in a good program, kind of ascending in the right direction, trending in the right way. What is the next step for you guys? Obviously, everyone will say expectations to win and play hard. But as far as you as a coach for your players, and even the players want to answer this as well, what are you guys' next steps as far as how you are approaching this season to get to that next chapter of winning? How do you approach that, especially the last 2 seasons winning 16-plus games?
Well, when you look at those last 2 seasons, 16-plus, but then it really starts before then. Coming in a few years ago, 3 years ago, and having that first season. Before that, 0-29, and then you have to change some things, and you change a lot of things. We changed it on the defense, the offense, the way we prepared, how we lifted on the offseason. And when you lift on the offseason, you have an offseason program. You do the things to keep the kids together. You feed them, you fellowship with them. You know, you really just bond as one. And a lot of teams don't do that and take that approach. And so for us, as we take that every year, we've had 3 straight playoff appearances, which has been the first time in school history to have 3 straight playoff appearances. And I know as a head guy, you know, it's that pressure to have, okay, are we going to do this for a 4th? And, you know, we're poised to do that for a 4th year, and if we can stay healthy. Everything doesn't always work out that way, you know, and we may take some bumps and bruises along the way, but we're still learning. And I tell the kids this all the time, that we wear Herndon across our chest. So whatever we're going through right now, even if it's the lowest of lows and the highest of highs, they're setting the foundation for the next class, and the next class, and the next class. And so with these guys being leaders and just knowing that we have to come to work every day and do the things the right way every day, we're going to pour into a community that's just going to continue to build and build and build to where we have 5, 6, 7, 8 playoff appearances. And even if there's a down year and we miss there, we can still bounce back because we know what we stand on.
Absolutely. Players, anybody want to answer what you're doing to help create that culture that we're talking about?
I mean, I think a new expectation that's came around this year is the culture that the team has and the chemistry we all have. Like, it's not like, oh, it's offense and defense. It's one team playing both sides of the ball and doing what they're supposed to do every play.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I also think it also feeds into our youth program and what we do with the youth, because I feel like to have a good program that is consistently winning and doing better, I feel like we really need to start that with the youth program, flag football, tackle football, which Herndon has been like lacking on recently. So I really think like with the help of Coach Richards, working with the youth program, all that, I think getting more kids involved in like the Herndon community, because right now we don't really have much players, young youth players like coming in, you know, trying to play football. But we're trying to change that so we can keep winning, and keep building a good program. Yeah.
Hayden, I'm sorry, I'm Monet Anderson. I cover high school football up and down the DMV. Your position as a quarterback, of course, every position is important. Everybody that steps on the field has a role to play. Coming back this year, how's the chemistry been with those you've played with and those you may be playing with for the first year, developing that rapport with them on the field?
That's a great question. So my chemistry with really any other team, and I think a lot of our team can agree on this, we've done a lot of things as a team outside of practice. We have team meals during our team camp. We've really built that team chemistry. We're not about being a team. We're about being brothers. We're about being friends. And I think that really builds us on the field. You know, a couple of our receivers, Luke Sangine, Lenn, Luke McFarland. Like, you know, we're at the field at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night when we don't have practice. You know, we might not be in Herndon uniform, but we're together, we're getting better, and we're locked in on, and we know our goals and we know our visions.
Nikki Wolcott, Washington Post. For Josh, just coming in as a head coach, what has this transition to the offseason been like? Obviously, having the experience being on staff here, just how important has that been? Also, just having the foundation of some of these seniors heading into this year.
Well, I mean, I look at a head coach role as something that is important, and it's that next step for me. I've been at successful programs, so being at Lake Braddock and having those strong mentors, and being at Westfield and having those strong mentors, and even coming over to Herndon and having a strong mentor with Bill Bachman that we just had as our previous coach, you know, it kind of really sets you up. And a lot of coaches, they come into a situation where they're a new head coach, but they don't stand on the foundation. Like they don't have something that they've really learned from. And so when you have that and you can structure a practice, right? They're still trying to figure out how to structure a practice. How do we put a plan together? Like what are our progressions? And when you learn behind those who've done it before you, it makes it a lot easier to step into this role. So you can wear those hats and you can delegate to it, and you can have guys who see the same vision and for you. So for me, stepping into a role is always having the assistant coaches that really care the same way that I care, right? If they mimic me and we hold each other to that same standard, then they're part of my staff. And so first year, I would say the most difficult is finding key guys that are like that, because you'll interview a lot and some of them are me guys and they want their self to be seen in one thing or another, and it's not about the team and what we can do together. So you kind of weed that out. And I think that we're in a strong situation where we can hold that in, and my assistant coaches can help me from day-to-day things to where it's not so much pressure and so much weight on my shoulders. But it's all about how we prepare, and then the foundation of things that I've stood on coming from other places and seeing how it's modeled.
Carl Frederick here from Prep Red Zone and All Hitches. This question's for the big man in the back. Nana, you were dominant last year, and I see your recruiting starting to blow up. You wanted to talk about that here and just give us an update on like where you stand with your recruiting?
So right now, I'm not really looking into recruiting right now because I'm focused on the season, and I'm trying to do great things this season, hopefully. That's it.
And back to Anthony's sake. Good answer. Coach, I've known you a long time. I remember back when we were back in like 2012 working on that terrible FPYC team together, and you've come a long way since then too. And your name was coming up for a lot of head coaching jobs last year too, before you took the Herndon head job. What was that, this transition with your young family? And you touched on it earlier. How's that been going for you?
Transition for that, it's a lot, because you know when your name is bounced around, you go into a lot of meetings where you're into interviews and people want to know who you are, and it's for other schools and what those fits are. And so when Herndon was going to open up, I knew about a few weeks before it was going to open. So really turning down some of those other jobs that would have set me somewhere else. And I know that was a big thing, because me scaling back and just taking a look at the bigger picture landed me to where I was going to be, and I'm happy where I am now. And just family-wise, like, you know, I have a family that is supportive of everything that I do, and that's a big thing for us, you know, because I can't do that without that support. And so having the little kids come over when they're at the fields and run around, and sometimes they're too young and you don't want to put them in the way of what's going on, but just really involving everyone, and it's just a family affair, just to know that my family's involved whenever they're here. So.
Coach, Vic mentioned this is a good team. I mean, you know, the record serves for itself, and you were there. You know what happened last year. What's going to get you over the hump this season?
Getting us over a hump is really just preparing, taking care of what we can take care of every day, right? We don't have to look further down the season. We don't have to look at game 5, 6, 7, 8. It's what are we going to do on Monday? Like, how are we going to get better on Monday? How are we going to get better on Tuesday? You know, Wednesday, and prepare that way. And I think that when you do that and teams buy in, yes, there's going to be some change. There's going to be people who move around. But the more that they buy in to one another, and as they do that, we're going to have a stronger foundation. We talk about that, and the players said we feed them every day after camp. You know, we'll come in the morning, practice, and then we'll go to the cafeteria. We've had sponsorships of IHOP, Wise Pizza, Wise Guys Pizza, and the others. Panera, like they'll bring in breakfast at a very low cost, and we'll just come in and we'll eat really nutritious meals and get right back out there, have another meeting and do that stuff. So getting over the hump is how we prepare and keep each other together, but it's all the things that we do when we are together.
For some of the players, just being seniors in this program, especially coming into the program at a time where you guys have had this turnaround and now have had sustained success getting into the playoffs the last couple of years, what have you guys learned over the last couple of years to get to the point where you guys are now? What are you kind of looking forward to taking into this season, hopefully kind of continuing on this tradition?
Richards, after every lift, makes a great point that we're being played for this year. The juniors and the sophomores are playing for us. And he always brings up, like, at the end of the season, do you want to have tears of joy or tears of regret and sorrow? And we're all just trying to buy into the tears of joy factor and all like the juniors and sophomores are all as bought in as we are. They're like have great energy on the field and everything. So just that one main focus of tears of joy at the end of the season is what we're going after.
Yeah, anyone else? Anyone?
Yeah, I just feel like from the past 3 seasons, coming in as freshmen, our freshman year, our program was 0-29. Like, we didn't really have hope for playoffs or like succeeding. We come in freshman year, we start seeing varsity do all this, start turning around. We go through sophomore, junior year, turning around, and just like going through that, like getting through the first round of playoffs and then second round of playoffs for sophomore year. Like just seeing that, and then just like seeing all the seniors and just everybody who like we did better than they had, like our program has in the past, but then just like seeing them cry and just all that, just like taking that in, like we don't want that for us. We want to do better, you know. So just like that experience that we had in our past, like just like remembering that and trying to do better. So
I love that answer, because when you remember that pain, that should motivate you for the next game, for the next season. That's a great way to look at that. I want to ask the players, it's a fun question since we're doing this presser. You know, in the words of the great Allen Iverson, we talking practice. Let's talk practice, right? To the players, who are the energy guys? Who are the guys in practice that get everything going? Whether it's, you know, a little trash talk or a little like, okay, making it personal. Who gets the energy going? We talking about practice because you haven't played yet. I know you got scrimmages coming, but who are those guys? Are there anybody at this table?
You're looking at them.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that energy.
This guy to my right talks like no other.
Yeah,
Nana, you make Nana mad, it's game over.
Oh, for everybody watching this on the stream, what does that mean, game over? You make him mad. What does that mean?
You won't stop him. Like,
he takes it up a notch.
yeah. Like,
When Nana gets mad, he's unstoppable.
That makes it more fun, you know. Makes him put in the work more, makes us better, makes the whole team better. We get that energy going. We get that energy going throughout the team. That just makes us all better because we all want to work harder. We all want to be better. We all want to win.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Talking schedule real quick, I mentioned scrimmages, Coach. You know, for those watching and even us here in the media, what are some games, the scrimmages you got coming up, and then what have you done? Because, you know, unfortunately, as a good coach and when the program is ascending, you become a prisoner of those expectations you create. So what have you done with that schedule? What scrimmages do you have coming up? And then what are some highlights of your schedule? I know everybody's important, but, you know, just some highlights and games.
Well, I didn't get to set the schedule this year. That was Coach Bachman's thing before going out. We were actually looking for some opponents. Had some really good ones on the schedule, but, you know, for whatever reason, they didn't work out. So we had to go and play a tougher schedule. We knew we had to get rid of some of the teams like Justice that were teams that we knew that we can compete with before, and getting rid of some of those. Osborne Park, and even though they're growing right now and they have new leadership and they're kind of doing their thing, like, you know, for us, we had to strive for the next. If we want to get past that first or second round, how do we play some of these teams early on? So we do have Potomac Falls, who is a neighboring school for us, just out in Loudoun. And then we're going to go at Mount Vernon for our second one with the new head coach. A lot of skill, speed. You know, we're going to have to learn how to play with speed. So those were 2 strategic teams to put on our schedule at first, but then we go on the road for the first 3 games, and we have Langley. Langley's second, that's just our first one, our district game, but we have Tuscarora and we have Briar Woods. So teams that have made it deep in the playoffs, you know, we're facing them now, even though there's new coaches at both schools. They're going to be prepared, and they've been there.
Yeah. And I know we're running short on time, but another question, how is the student body and the school support? You know, when you start winning, everybody starts to make reservations for that bandwagon. How has there been the support, though? Do you feel like the community is starting to realize you guys are heading in the right direction?
We're community-based, so everything that we do, like if you look at our social media, we're taking pictures in community. They give back to us as we do that, whether it's the pizza shots or the up and anything else. We're having fun in the community, and they pour right back into us. That's why we have Saturday homecoming games, and it's like no other. There's a parade. So if you ever are free on a Saturday for a homecoming game, you know, we're going to play McLean this year at homecoming, and it's a whole day event, and we really like that. And so we have other Saturday games where the community comes out. It's going to be for our Cameron Bowl against South Lakes. That's another one that's on a Saturday. So we're playing more Saturday games. The community comes out in full force. And I just know my first year there was probably like 200 people in stands. And then we go on our 6-game win streak, and you can see them more and more and more. And now it's a tough ticket, especially when we're playing a good opponent. Like we'll fill up that stadium.
All right, last question here. It's for the coaches and the players. Can you just tell us how you've experienced everything here today?
Oh, it was great. I mean, the food, the pictures, like you come in, it's like it's not awkward, you're welcoming. It's a great experience.
It was a really welcome experience. Like I didn't know what to expect coming in here, and then we just came in, and it just felt awesome. So thank you guys.
The smoke machine was pretty cool.
You guys, anything?
The food.
Nana says the food, so if you can't hear him through the mic, it's the food. It's the food. It's the Jersey mics. No, I really like what you guys have done here and just setting it up, having the reporters to question, giving the exposure. Like that's really important for schools and teams. And so, whenever you have anything like that, we're more than willing to come out. Like we want to put our face out there as much as possible, and we want to do this on and off the field, within the community and things. And so, if it's like this, we're always going to outreach. So, thank you for welcoming us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our pleasure.
Thank you very much.
All right, everybody, Herndon Hornets, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck this season.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.